Well, joining me in the studio now is John Street, founder of the charity Free at Last. John, thank you for joining me this evening.
Thank you, Lewis.
So first of all, can you just tell me a bit, what is Free at Last?
Free at Last is a charity based in the Nechells area of Birmingham, and its aim is to improve the lives of the children and young people of Nechells.
So where did it all come from? Because I know that it was you founded it 17 years ago, didn't you?
Yes, I've been doing youth work in Nechells for 27 years. And started the charity to try and be more proactive about how we could work with not just the children and young people, but the whole family.
And I believe it's changed a lot since then, hasn't it?
It has, yes. Started very small, and now it's grown to a place where we're now ready to knock our old youth centre down and build a brand new one.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. I know you've just received a funding from the National Lottery, £1 million.
Yes.
I mean, so did you apply for that?
Yes. Not just the lottery, it's a £2 million project. We've managed to secure 1.8 million towards it.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different people involved in a variety of fundraising activities.
And so how beneficial is that £1 million going to be for you?
Oh, it's amazing. To be able to knock down, it's an old garage at the moment, which we've had to stop using for services because of the mould and the roof collapsing and the mushrooms. And so it's being able to flatten that and to create a brand new youth and community centre that will benefit everybody in Nechells.
Yeah, so tell me about that. What are you going to be building?
So there's several different areas within the youth centre. There'll be youth clubs, there'll be a girls only room, there'll be a recording studio, kitchen areas to teach people how to cook, a parent soft play area, there'll be a 40-metre climbing wall, a small sports area for fitness, and for general activities to try and bring the community together.
I mean, I know you plan to start building this in April this year. Well, we're in April now. So have you started, or is it just around the corner?
We're through the process, so we've appointed a contractor and we're just going through all the legal documents ready to hand over the site to them, which hopefully will be in the next 3 weeks. And
because I know you've got the £1 million, but you're still also looking for an extra 250,000, aren't you? So you're going to start anyway and just gather that as you go along?
There's lots of different things that we're doing along the way. We have a ball at Aston Villa Ground on May the 12th, so there's still tickets available for people to get involved with that. There's an oddball one, which is like a car race for 2 days in October. So there's a variety of different ways, as well as people just donating, or if they want to get involved with a localised charity, then they can. So
how can people donate then?
Through the website, which is freeatlast.st.
Yeah.
Or through a Just Giving page, whether they're doing their own activities or just going on to the Free at Last page on Just Giving.
Yeah. And how beneficial is this brand new community hub going to be for the community?
Nechells is a bit of a forgotten place, really, and so many things have disappeared and have gone over the years. It's about time something new happened where people can take a bit of pride in their community. It's a very poor, disadvantaged community, and we keep missing out on so many things, so it's about time that we have something that is a beacon of light and hope for the people who live there. And so
that's going to be in Nechells as well. Is it down the road from where you are now? Or on the same base?
It's on the same site, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what happens when obviously you start working on the new site? What happens, where will people be able to go in the meantime?
There's several things that we've already moved out of the area. We do youth clubs in 2 of the local schools. We run a debt and benefit advice, and that's in 5 different places around the community. We run a couple of businesses as well, and one of them is an adventurous activity and team building company, and we've moved all of the kit out of Nechells onto another site.
So there is still places for everyone to go to get help.
Yeah.
So let's focus now on the Free at Last itself. I know because you do stuff for children, young people, and obviously you were saying there about debt advice as well. What do you offer for children?
We do the youth clubs, particularly at the moment for primary aged, because for secondary aged children, then we don't have for young people, we don't have the facilities. Although we work with the local secondary school academy and run football. So that's linked with Aston Villa, and our ambassador, who is Tony Morley, who used to play for Aston Villa, he also does the football coaching.
Okay.
We are developing with Amy, who are the contractors, to develop our own Duke of Edinburgh to keep that going, so that we can provide that service. And a young leaders program, which teaches young people aged 19 to 29 about a variety of different ways to become a leader, to become more employable in each of the sectors, with the police, with the fire service, in businesses, large, small businesses, and then we end up going over to Bulgaria to do a project with a charity over there.
It seems like you do pretty much something for everyone.
Yes, that's the aim. We want to be involved in a life's journey, and we find it quite a privilege that people invite us to be involved in their lives. And it's unfortunate that youth workers particularly have a lot of short-term funding, short-term contracts, and actually for a youth worker to be really effective, they should spend at least 10 years with a young person going through the transitions that they face in primary and secondary school. And so it's about that long-term relationship that we want to build with the young people and help them through every stage where they have those issues and difficulties. And being in the inner city, there's an awful lot more issues and difficulties that they have to face on their own.
I mean, it seems like it is one big community. Like you said, and as well, you offer debt advice. So if people just come along and, you know, if they've got troubles, they just ask away.
Yes, we've got a debt and benefit advisor that in the last 8 years that he's been with us has reduced debt and increased benefit entitlement to over £12 million, because there is so much problems with finance. 53% child poverty is a statistic for people who live in Nechells, which is shocking. You know, why is there a food bank? Why is there 2 food banks? Why do people need food and live in poverty in this day and age? And we live in a community which needs as much support as it can get, and when so many other things have been folding and falling apart because of funding, those of us who left struggle along to try and make an impact on the poverty figures. And
it seems like you are a huge support base in Nechells. I mean, how important is a service like yours to young children that maybe, you know, need confidence skills and need teamwork skills?
Hugely, because there's very often out of school very few places that they can go. Some of the schools in Nechells have done excellent in their raising standards and are outstanding and good schools, but that's for 5 hours a day, and what happens the rest of the time. And many children and young people create their own entertainment by being out on the street or with their friends, and when there's a lack of adult positive role models who can help them with that, how they form and shape who they are and the choices that they make, then they make negative decisions some of the time, most of the time, and that dominant behaviour then becomes something that affects every area of their life, and people wonder why they are naughty or they do things that they shouldn't be doing. I
mean, I know Free at Last are doing all they can, and we have mentioned as well moving on to even bigger and better things with the new hub. I mean, I know you are still struggling to raise the final bits of money because you are completely self-funded, aren't you?
We are. With the staffing, we get 2 small grants from Children in Need and the lottery towards some of our youth work and debt and benefit advice. But we do try and raise our own funds through our businesses, our social enterprises, and those are the things that have kept us going through austerity, because we prefer to earn our own money. Generally, we don't like to go out with a cap in hand, but this is a project that needs that extra support, that extra push to help us to be able to create this building instead of starting to chop things off because we're a couple of £100,000 short. Yeah, and you're working with local businesses, don't you? Yes, we work with a lot of businesses, both in Nechells and throughout networks. Through the BNI network, through business networking, through large corporates who work with us on their corporate social responsibility. So we're very much involved in the business world and would like to be more so. And it's a fantastic prospect. 36 weeks it's going to be up and running. It's going to create some jobs, isn't it, as well? Yes, both for local people and hopefully to have a lot more youth workers and family workers, fathers workers, to bring people in to help us to run the services that are necessary and needed in our community is going to take a lot of people.
Brilliant. Well, John, thank you very much for joining me this evening,
Thank
and
you.
all the best with the final bits of fundraising.
Thank you.